Hey guys, this video is going to be about unit 3.1 about diffusion. Diffusion is the net movement of particles from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration down a concentration gradient as a result of their random movement. So, if I am to draw this line, think of it as this being the higher concentration and this is the lower concentration. Okay, now if this has more particles, and this is, just think of this as a cell. Now, this is a cell. Okay, and this is another cell. So this has a low concentration, this has a high concentration. So it has, let's say it has more particles. This it cannot happen. So what happens is that diffusion occurs. Diffusion. Now, diffusion is the process that, I'll say the exact one, it's the net movement of particles. So, it's the movement of particles, such as this, this, and this, from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. So, and it happens down a concentration gradient. So, it happens from high to low. Not low to high, high to low. So, this goes here. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Has 12. So this goes here. And just remember, this is the cell membrane. So it passes through the cell membrane. So obviously the cell membrane is selectively permeable and it allows these particles to pass through. So this goes here. This goes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 6 from here. Obviously, if you take 1 from here, this one is removed. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then, now these two cells are going to look like this. It's going to be like this. 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is going to have also 6. So this is gonna have 6 and this is gonna have 6. It's not exactly 6, but it's going to be in a state of equilibrium. Okay? Okay? We mentioned this. And move into and out of cells by diffusion through cell membranes. So always diffusion happens through the cell membrane. Okay? Now, describe the importance of diffusion of gases and solutes. Now, the importance of this is importance. Now, the importance is that usually gas exchange in alveoli happen by diffusion. It takes place by diffusion. Okay, that's the first thing. And the second factor that's really important is that it gives plants a proper shape. So what happens in plants is that particles they move from a higher concentration to a lower, from a higher concentration, like in this diagram, higher concentration to a lower concentration. And later on I will explain that in plant cells it's different than in animal cells. Something happens and we will use new words such as turgid and plasmolized and stuff like that. So it gives plants their proper shape. And yeah, so the energy from diffusion comes from the kinetic energy of random movement of molecules and ions. Now, in here, the reason why these particles moved were that they got energy, and nothing can move without energy. So the energy in this molecule, not like in the molecules, are not ATP, but they are kinetic energy. Okay, obviously these particles, each particle moves and collides, so they all have kinetic energy. So each particle has kinetic energy, which makes them move, and when they move, they can diffuse of molecules and ions. Investigate the factors that influence diffusion limited to surface area, temperature, concentration, gradients, and distance. Now, obviously there are a few factors that influence factors that influence diffusion. This is an L. This is a U. So the factors that influence diffusion are surface area. First, it's surface area. Now, the larger the surface area, if it's larger the surface area, then greater the amount of diffusion. Now, first is surface area. So the more space you have, the larger the surface area. Now, next is the temperature. So, the higher the temperature, okay, I'll do this in another way. So if temperature increases, then kinetic energy of particles increases. If kinetic energy of particles increases, they move faster. If they move faster, then that means that there is faster diffusion. Now, the third is concentration gradient. or all this. If it's a larger concentration gradient, if it's a larger concentration gradient, then more diffusion. And the last factor is distance. If the distance is shorter, then more diffusion. Okay. So that's done.